Hello again, everybody. I'm Todd Rossnagel, Director of Communications for the Louisiana Conference, and we are coming on the air on this Wednesday, October 28th, with another hurricane update. Tropical storm Zeta, soon to be Hurricane Zeta, is threatening the Louisiana coastline. This is now the seventh hurricane with its sights set on Louisiana. It has just been an absolutely incredible hurricane season here in 2020. Joining us, as she always has for all the storms, dating all the way back to Cristobal, is Bishop Cynthia Fierro Harvey. Bishop Harvey, I mentioned to my family that I'm going to be doing another video update, and they said, let me guess, another hurricane update. Here we are yet again.
I don't want to question you, but are you sure it's only seven? It seems like 777. Seems like we've done a lot of these, and you say Cristobal, and that was like, is that this year?
It seems like forever ago. It really does.
Yeah, I just cannot believe this. I've said sort of jokingly, and now I probably should stop. I said, but when we get to Omega, I'm really going to worry. Hopefully we won't get there. But yeah, Hurricane Zeta staring us in the face once again. And even though it's likely to be not a big, 2, 3, 4, but it is still a hurricane heading to Louisiana. And I know I'm weary, so I can't imagine these pastors that are facing these over and over and over again, how weary they must be, and our clergy and laity alike. You almost are afraid to look at the weather forecast anymore these days. But once again, we're resilient people. We keep proving that over and over again. And my prayer is that the strength will lessen, and we won't have as much damage after this hurricane.
Well, you're right in the intensity. It'll probably be a Category 1 storm with wind, rain, storm surge, hurricane warning in effect from Morgan City to the Mississippi-Alabama border. The good news is that it's a quick moving storm. But I'll tell you, Bishop, and you mentioned this just a moment ago, even when you get a hurricane warning, even if it is a small storm, the disruption that a storm brings to our lives, school is canceled, so many things are just paused, and it just causes so much disruption. I can't imagine how many people in Louisiana have been disrupted by just so many things in 2020.
Well, and now I keep talking about it being compounding in nature. We had COVID, we have economic crisis, we have a racial crisis now, and we've had storm after storm kind of crisis, and we know enough down here to take these seriously, right? So we understand the widespread, Morgan City to Pensacola or whatever it is,
Right.
That's a big swath. But we also know that things can change. So suddenly you've got to be prepared. You can't ignore these. So yes, no school, and city services shutting down. Your trash isn't going to be picked up. All those sorts of things that are just daily disruptions. And we've had one disruption after another, and at some point, you just think, oh my gosh, you hate to say it, but how much more can we withstand? And a lot of this is cumulative, one after another, and the cumulative and compounding effect has got to be taking a toll on all of us.
And we do, of course, want to mention our friends in Southwest Louisiana. Recently, just last week, the cabinet had an opportunity to head over to Southwest Louisiana and get your hands dirty, doing the work of recovery and relief in Southwest Louisiana. And I know that as you drove around the area, the impact is just heartbreaking. The road to recovery is going to be immense in Southwest Louisiana.
It's huge. You look at it and it's like, where do you even begin? Um, and we were recording in front of that, giant mound of stuff. And all I could think about is this is people's stuff. Um, and some of it was recognizable, some of it was not. But this is stuff that belongs to people that you and I know. And now it's sitting in this trash heap. And I just I think about the losses there, and not just once but twice. And the cabinet did work on a home, and we were blessed by being there. I hope we did. The homeowner was blessed, but she was working right beside us the entire time. And so you recognize that these are hardworking people who are trying to put their lives back together the best that they can. And so the need there is going to be great for a very long time. And some of these homes are gutted. Some of them are, people are living in them while people are trying to work because they don't have any alternatives. And, those are just difficult living conditions. So I continue to pray for those people in Southwest Louisiana. And now, the people in the path of Zeta. And, in some of these areas, these low-lying areas, a regular rainy day can flood a street and a home. So when you've got some intense rain and intense wind, the good news is it is a fast-moving storm. So maybe we won't have stuff just sitting over us for a very long time, but it's still a disruption. People still had to go to the grocery store, and people still have to make sure that they have food for a few days. People have to be prepared in case they lose their power. I don't know about you, but Entergy's already sent me a text saying, just in case, we're prepared. And I went out today to run an errand, and you can see here in Baton Rouge, the power trucks are already staged. They're at like College and I-10, ready to go wherever they need to go. And, it's just become a daily, it seems like a weekly occurrence at the very least. So this just takes a lot of resources. And it just takes a lot of, just stamina from people. And so my prayer is that once again, we will do what we know how to do. We'll check on our neighbors. We'll check on the most vulnerable. We will follow up with them before, during, and after the storm in the best way that we can. And then we'll be poised and ready to respond in a way that is appropriate after the storm.
Well, if there's one person I know that has incredible stamina, it is you. For those who are watching this video, I know they would love to know what is your secret to stamina?
Yeah, right. Exercise and just try to. I am one that looks at the glass half full most of the time, and I look for God's blessing and God's faithfulness in all of this. And I was just actually writing something about that in preparation for some things next week about. I went back to the hymn, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. As bad as things are, and as much as is changing in our world, to know that God is the constant. And there are new mercies each and every day. Sometimes they're harder to see than others, but they're there. So that gives me the stamina that I need. And there are days that, if you came over here at 6:30 on any given night, I may already be in my PJs and halfway to bed. But, the news, the good news is the good news. The good news is the good news that even in the midst of this chaos, in the midst of election seasons, in the midst of COVID, in the midst of all of that, God is still so very present in our lives. And I'm looking for the new mercies each and every day that God will reveal to us. We just sometimes have to, with our blurry eyes, try to focus on those things.